So last year was running back Derrick Henry taking home the goods. He was running over everybody standing in his way. This year, Jonathan Taylor is making a run at it. So is Cooper Kupp out in L.A. Reid, which one are you siding with?
I got to side with Jonathan Taylor. Cooper Kupp and what he's doing is fantastic. But with Cooper Kupp, right, you can arguably say that Matt Stafford deserves a look on why his success is there. It involves two players, like he has to look to Cooper Kupp's way to get the touches and to get the targets and the receptions and touchdowns, not to take away from what he's doing, but on an offense that has an Odell Beckham, that has a Darrell Henderson or Sony Michel in the backfield, that has pass catchers like Van Jefferson and a really good quarterback. Even though Cooper Kupp's the best player on that team and arguably the best receiver that we have in the game right now, what Jonathan Taylor is doing is historic. This guy is close in the MVP race. You could argue from an actual definition of value to their team, Jonathan Taylor is that guy. He scored a touchdown in every game since week 4. And if you remove him from the situation, the Colts are nowhere near where they would be right now in success. Not to take away from what they're doing from a scheme, from a defensive side, but Jonathan Taylor deserves this award for what he's doing. It is unbelievable. His juke rate is unbelievable. His yards after contact is fantastic. And he's getting these huge runs, and he's doing it on primetime television. So give me Jonathan Taylor.
Geoff, both these guys are putting up the stat lines every week, but could a quarterback be awarded this honor?
Oh.
No, I don't think so. Just because, it's like an unwritten code. Like the quarterbacks don't get this award. They save them for the MVP voting, where they'll probably win again, even though maybe Jonathan Taylor should. But no, this is it's a cool year for the Offensive Player of the Award. There's actually a few other players that we could even be talking about. I think if this was a normal year, we didn't have Cooper Kupp potentially setting the receiving record and Jonathan Taylor, Reid throwing out all these fancy stats, just running roughshed over everybody. What about a guy like Deebo Samuel, who's averaging a rushing touchdown every 5 carries right now as a wide receiver? Ridiculous stuff from Deebo Samuel. He was actually second in the league in receiving yards through 10 weeks behind Cooper Kupp as well. And then you add his rushing stats. I think in a normal year, he might even walk away with this award. But now we have a guy in Cooper Kupp who is potentially going to hit 2,000 receiving yards for the first time ever in an NFL season. He has an outside chance to do that. And I think that's what this award is going to come down to. Jonathan Taylor, great. He's had some monster games. Obviously, the yards after contact, the yards per carry is really good. But if he slows down a little bit, Cooper Kupp is the one who has been consistent all season long. Again, I think that if he breaks the receiving yard record, Cooper Kupp will get there in terms of the award. And I would side with Cooper Kupp regardless of whether that record falls or not. I think you look at the work as a whole, you say, Cooper Kupp, since the start of the year to the end, he's made Matthew Stafford a better quarterback. Matthew Stafford setting career highs. I think a lot of that has to do with Cooper Kupp personally. That's where I would go, but this is a very, very close award. And realistically, both these guys deserve it.